I just recently discovered the show Expedition Bigfoot, which I guess started in 2019, but I never noticed it until now, and I binge watched the first season on Max when I was up at odd hours. And it occurred to me, especially towards the end of the season, that it really distills a lot of things about a hexcrawl. They are exploring this landscape. I want to say it's in Oregon or Washington State, somewhere out there in the Pacific Northwest. They've honed in on a particular area, which depending on the size of your hexes might be one to a handful of hexes. And they are looking for Bigfoot, of course, as in the name of the show, unsuccessfully. Also, of course, as is the nature of such things. But they're exploring the map. And I think what the show highlights is really how much is kind of in these hexes and how really I think we maybe simplify too far, depending on your style of game, of course, the facility with which hexes are either marked as explored or things are found or whatnot, because they spend a lot of time, and given it's a reality show, so you can't put too much stock in necessarily in when they find things, because who knows if things were telegraphed ahead or not. But up until the end, they're finding new things in this relatively small area that they're zipping in and out of. The other thing it highlighted was what I think is a problem, an issue, something that as a GM we have to overcome, and that is the abstraction distance between whatever we're looking at on our hex map and whatever the party is experiencing. For example, in this landscape that probably if you were going to write out on a hex map would either be a forest hex or a forest hill hex, there is a lot of interesting terrain formations that really help guide and potentially confound them in their journey. And that could be something that can be difficult to get to from a GM standpoint when you're looking at just a simple symbol to see the complexity that may be beneath that symbol. Of course, there's no right answer, but when you look at what they're doing, and there were multiple ridges, and they were finding clearings and trying to show these paths through these ridges and these little valleys, it really shows this very interesting landscape. And it occurred to me that all this interesting landscape would be totally obfuscated by the simple symbology that we would use in a hex map. Does that mean we should go and topo map everything? No, of course not. But there comes a time where you as the GM are going to have to kind of dip down more into the detail than what the hexes provide. And it might be interesting to come up with tools to help do that.